Hey guys, it is time to talk about what we're going to be reading for the month of February. Hey guys, if you are new here, welcome to the Book Path. I'm Nicole, and if this isn't your first rodeo, thanks for sticking around. So February is soon to be upon us. I think like within a week, probably by the time I get this posted, like it'll be here. So that just seems to be the way of going with editing and posting for me as of late, but hopefully not. Hopefully I will get this out before February is upon us. But yeah, it is time to go over what we're going to be reading for the month of February. We still have quite a few books to accomplish for both Reddit Fantasy Bingo as well as Romantasy Bingo and Romanceopoly. We still have quite a few courses. Of course, Romantasy Bingo and Romanceopoly we have just started, so we got time for that. However, for Reddit Fantasy, we're down to like the last 2 months to get these books done if we still want to go for a blackout bingo board. However, because it is February and it is the month of love, we are going to try to go with everything this month having romance. This is going to be the month to read all our spicy romance books, all our paranormal fantasy, dark romance, whatever, just the whole umbrella of romance, if you will. So there is something I'm going to be doing, but first there are 2 arcs that I do need to get through, and I did say that going forward I was going to start mentioning what arcs I was going to be doing for the month if I had already had them in my possession. So first up for our arcs, we have Beast by Serena Knights. This, I believe, is a paranormal romance, maybe, with a lot of maybe musical components to it. I'm not sure. But basically, we have, when my sorority turned on me, I knew it just wasn't betrayal. It was a warning. With nowhere else to go, I ran straight into the worst possible sanctuary, a fraternity house that breathes secrets and pulses with something not quite human. 13 demons live there, monsters with power etched into their bones, and somehow, none of it works on me. They don't know what to do with a girl they can't break. I don't know what to do with the house full of creatures who should terrify me, especially not the vampire hidden away in the attic. The one thing I've feared my entire life, thanks to a childhood memory that still claws at my spine. Except he isn't what I expect. He's quiet, watchful, dangerous in a way that makes my pulse stutter instead of scream. When we're cast as co-stars in the college play, escape becomes impossible. Rehearsals trap us together, late nights, shared breaths, lingering touches that feel like promises we shouldn't keep. Every look is a dare, every moment a risk. What starts as fear turns into temptation. What should be forbidden begins to feel inevitable. As I carve out a place among demons and misfits, I find something I never thought I'd have again, a family, and buried beneath their chaos, I begin to suspect the truth. There's something different about me, too. But secrets never stay buried, and when the head vampire learns a human has been living among them, the house becomes a battleground. A single, merciless ultimatum echoes through the halls. Sacrifice one of their own, or sacrifice me. And the boy in the attic, he may have to decide which damnation he's willing to live with. So I'm thinking that the musical elements maybe come from this play. Maybe it's a musical, and so that might be intertwined somehow. But it's really interesting. Something I haven't seen lately in what I've been reading. So that sounds like it's going to be a good read. So that is my first arc that we are going to be having. The second one that I have been invited to join in, and of course I'm going to do it, is Melodies of the Damned by Nikita Kurwan. I hope I got that name right. First off, I loved the cover. I thought this was interesting. Of course, you know, I'm more prone to the dark covers than anything else, so that's nothing new. But this is, I believe, more of a fantasy romance where we have Princess Lyra, or Lyra, I'm not sure how they're pronouncing it. Meridian would do anything to be free, even if it promised death. The sacrificial rite of ascension is her only chance to escape, a ruthless offering to estranged gods where mortals either die or rise as their soldiers. She is expected to die. Instead, when she leapt into the cursed ocean, it recognized her and something ancient awakened. Now monsters crawl from the hells to hunt her, and her kingdom's nightmare, the commander of death, is the first to find her. Forced into a blood bargain, Lyra is his prisoner. I'm just going with Lyra. But the commander has motives far darker than she realized, and none of them involve letting her go. As monsters close in and prophecy coils tighter around her throat, Lyra must decide whether the commander is her captor, her protector, or the temptation that will damn them both. So it sounds really interesting. Very excited to read it. Both of these need to be done pretty early on in the month, so I'm hoping to get to them soon to make that a possibility. But yeah, they do sound really good, so I'm excited for them as my arcs. Now for the rest of the month, I know that I wanted to read romance. I know that I have bingo boards and things that need to be done as well. So I decided to make it into a little bit of a game and use a spinner wheel. And so I threw on books that I've wanted to read, books that are on different challenges, but the caveat was that they needed to have some form of romance in them. So we ended up spinning the wheel. I did 2 spins to start us off with because, well, I'll figure that out and I'll explain that to you afterwards. So I'll go ahead and I will show you my spins for anybody that can't do like motions, or, you know, anybody with epilepsy, anything like that. This is a lot of spinning and movement, which might come across as flashy. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to put a little bit of background music on for you for this. So I've seen this done in other videos where they play the music, and once the music stops, you'll know that the spinning is all done, and you can hopefully look back, because I really don't wanna cause any troubles for anybody doing this, but I do wanna show you how I spun and what we got. So without further ado, we have spin 1. Okay, and so with our first spin, we have Secret Obsession from Katie Roberts. I'm covering the little Target sticker because I have yet to get it off, and I just don't like the way that it looks on there. But this is, oh God, what book is this? The 7th book? No, 8th book in the Dark Olympus series, which I have right here. Obviously, I am a fan of this series. This is basically, I believe, the story of Icarus and Poseidon. So it is a male-to-male relationship romance. This is obviously going to have spice as well. But we have, he was mine to protect, mine to adore, mine to lose forever. Icarus may not have flown particularly close to the sun, but he has fallen right into the rough hands of Olympus's own Poseidon. Being held captive by the gentle giant wouldn't be so bad if Olympus wasn't on the eve of destruction, or if Poseidon stopped looking at him with those irresistibly stormy eyes. Poseidon doesn't have time to babysit his increasingly bratty prisoner, but he has no choice. Olympus is officially at war, and someone has to keep their best bargaining chip out of harm's way. The thing is, the longer Poseidon is with Icarus, the more he starts to care for his sworn enemy, and the more he realizes that Icarus isn't the villain he's been made out to be. There's a warmth to him, a vulnerability that Poseidon finds difficult to ignore or deny. Now with Circe and the Aeons, I think that's how you pronounce it, I'm not sure, at the gate and Olympus a hair's breadth away from falling, Poseidon will have to make a difficult choice about himself, about his allegiances, and about the man who woke his heart from his long slumber only to threaten to break it for good. So there's a few spoilers in there, so if you haven't read the series, don't read this one first. Like, they can be standalones, but realistically, to get what is going on in Olympus, you need to read the series. And for all intents and purposes, it is basically, for me, a Greek mythology retelling with the gods and the pantheons and the myths set to a darker, spicier, almost mafia factions style world. So very interesting the way it's done. I have loved this series so far. I don't think I've rated anything between a 3-star. Most of these books have been 4 or 5 stars. A few of them ending up on like my best lists of whatever year I've read them. So this should probably be really good as well. And it's fairly short. So that is why I'm doing a second spin. Like I said, 2 spins, because this one is, it's about 316 pages, but I have a tendency to kind of fly through these a little bit quicker. So that's why we are doing another spin. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at our second spin. Okay, so we ended up picking up Heart of the Impaler by Alexander Delacroix. Actually, both of these books happen to be on the Reddit Fantasy Bingo. I'm extremely happy about that because I knew I needed to get to them because I have the laundry list to get through in 2 months. So these being romance, I put them on here and we got them. So lucky me, you know. This has also been on my TBR for a while, so I'm really interested to get to this. This is I think it's a historical fiction romance, but they're twisting a little bit of history. So I don't know how historical romance it's going to be, but this is a Vlad the Impaler, Dracula kind of romance retelling. And basically we have treachery, violence, bloodshed, death. This is the legacy of Wallachia's royal family. Vlad Dracula has long lived in the shadows cast by his bloodthirsty father, the Voivode, I think it's called the Voivode, I'm not sure, of Wallachia, and his brother Mercia. I think that's how, or Mercia. I'm not sure how to pronounce the name, so forgive me. Despite their cruelty, Vlad has yearned to prove himself worthy of the throne his whole life. In the cold halls of the palace, Vlad can only rely on his cousin and closest friend, Andrei Musat. Once again, names. When Vlad and Andrei meet, Ilona Chaki or Saki, sorry, I know I keep apologizing for the names, but still, the daughter of an influential boyar, they each find themselves inextricably drawn to her. But then Ilona is betrothed to Mercia, aka the older brother of Vlad, as part of a political alliance, and Vlad's resentment of his brother begins to seethe into something far darker. Ilona has no desire to marry the eldest son, but love and marriage are the least of her worries. The royal family's enemies have already tried to put an arrow through her back, and if anyone discovers her blossoming feelings for Andrei and Vlad, she may just wish they'd succeeded. Beneath the shadow of impending war, the only battle that will be deadlier than the one for Ilona's life will be the one for her heart. So I don't know if this is like with Vlad and Andrei, if this is going to be like a why choose, if she's only going to end up with one of them, if she's going to end up with two of them, if somehow she's going to end up with all three of them, I don't know. I am a little bit of the Dracula Vlad like historical fan. I find the historical story of Vlad extremely interesting and just tragic in so many ways, but like really, really interesting. So if you don't know about Vlad the Impaler, who obviously gets a really bad rap for being Dracula, and then we know him as Bram Stoker's Dracula, check out some documentaries, catch up on it. He had a very interesting life, and he is actually in a lot of those regions regarded more as a hero than as a tyrant, as a lot of the world has come to know him. So very interesting life, very interesting story, and of course you have that kind of paranormal and part of it into how it ends. So definitely the kind of truth is better than fiction in many ways in regards to his story, but I'm still very interested to see where they go in this one and how close they stay to the history of Vlad, as well as where they kind of go with this possible love triangle why choose thing going on. So yeah, so we are going to read, you know, these ones. We've got the two arcs that we need to read, and then after that, I know I've been going a little bit slower in reading so far. I want that to pick up. So hopefully once these are done, which I should, because these sound really, really good, I should get through them hopefully really quickly. We can do some more spins and add some more like catch-up videos with the newer spins in those videos as February goes on. So yeah, it sounds great. If there is a romance book that is pretty much any kind of romance that you really think I should try to get in that maybe I already have, let me know in the comments below and I will try to add it into the spinner wheel to go at it. I do have quite a few romance books in all of their genre glory, so I'm not going to be putting as many as I want, but pretty much when one goes, I'm going to try to replace it with something else so that we can keep our spinner wheel full. But yeah, let me know in the comments below if you have seen some of my book hauls and there's something that I haven't read yet that you're like, oh, she needs to read this, and February would be a perfect month to read that in. Let me know. Message me, send it to me in the comments below somehow, and I will add it to see how we can get it done. But I hope everything's going well for you. I hope your reading month is going to look fantastic and exciting and bring you joy. And hopefully, you know, stay with it, stay warm, stay safe, stay healthy, continue drinking those warm bevies, unless you're in a country that is just having in a place that's having some wonderful heat right now. In that case, you know, may your beverages be icy. I'm not sure, but just stay well, stay happy, and I will see you guys in the next video.